Well, for those of you who slept through the 80s, were not born in the 80s, or were unfamiliar with that song, Peter, wow. Yeah. Michael, thank you for bringing that. When we planned that song several weeks back, not knowing exactly what would be going on in the world, it turned out to be interesting that we sang I Want to Know What Love Is by a band called Foreigner. Know what love is but Foreigner. Yes. So on the inside cover of your bulletin, there is a highlighted part that says, love never fails. Love never fails. Do you find yourself arguing with that a little bit? I know even when we placed it, I thought, well, if someone walking by Fillmore sees that, they're going to perhaps engage in some kind of an argument with our sign. It feels like love does fail frequently. Our relationships fail. Those who are supposed to love us and care for us fail. Sometimes it feels like God fails us. So how can we boldly say that love never fails? That is part of what we will examine today, and why we looked at today's intentionally concise excerpt from 1 Corinthians, the love passage that is a staple at so many weddings. For those who are new here, we are in the midst of a Love Is Not worship series that will run through the 26th of this month. Again, for those who are new, the Greeks wisely had distinct words for love, including philia, more of a brother or sisterly love, eros, the sort of a love that you may see exemplified in some of those commercials with the people in two bathtubs for whatever reason. Storge, kind of a fondness, love, familiarity, and the subject of today, agape, this deep, selfless love. And if you want to learn more about these distinctions, I would encourage you to take a look online, or perhaps even in our library, Lois, at C.S. Lewis's The Four Loves. Now, Paul wrote and spoke to an audience in Greek, and those are some of the distinctions of love that we look at. But the one who was the object of his love passage, and the one who exemplified that on earth, would have spoken a different language. Arlene Jack, one of our deacon-elects here at Calvary and our resident Aramaic scholar, sent some illuminating material on this subject and this word and the meaning of love in Jesus' native tongue. In Aramaic, the word we read as love here would be huba, H-O-O-B-A, huba. And love in Aramaic refers to something for which one feels the kind of love expressed in both words and actions. And the root of the word in Aramaic literally means to set on fire. Huba, to set on fire. When this huba becomes reality, the authors describe that the human sings spiritual songs in harmonious tunes that are understood by people of all races and creeds. Harmonious tunes that are understood by people of all races and creeds. If you want to read about one of these instances in the Bible, take a look at the book of Acts, when God through the Holy Spirit speaks to people and all in their tongues are able to understand what this love is and what God wants for them. But with the understanding of love in the language of Jesus, this selflessness to be set on fire for God in the most positive way, I invite us. Well, could be a sign. Okay. Yeah. Well, for those who wonder if God was, I was about to have us read the Bible, but I don't think it's anything too terrible. But I invite you to open to page 934, and let us read two short verses together. Down on the lower left corner where it says the gift of love, we will read verses 4 through 5, concluding with the word resentful. Let us read together when we get there. If you aren't near a Bible, feel free to open a device and type 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 5. Let us read together. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious, or boastful, or arrogant, or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices There is an alternative footnote. It is not printed in this Bible that you can see, but the alternative footnote goes on to say that love does not put itself first. It does not pick fights with allies and friends for no discernible reason or provoke enemies to justify a response. Love does not discriminate against neighbors based upon nationality or religion or gender or sexual orientation. Love does not tweet seeking to humiliate anyone who disagrees. And finally, love does not care about the ratings of The Apprentice. It's a little-known footnote. They found it in the Dead Sea somewhere, so I can neither confirm or deny exactly where you would find it. But through conversations with many of you in recent weeks, including in just the past 3 days, I know that many in our community are exhausted. Many of you came here today. I do not want to talk about politics. I don't want to hear about the world. I'm inundated with that. Please know that I do hear you. I do hear you. But I also acknowledge that we have the luxury of tuning out. Too many in the world cannot. They cannot tune out. Their lives are affected. Life and death is at stake. So they cannot tune out. But that said, I know that so many of us have compassion fatigue. We have compassion fatigue, we have justice fatigue, and news fatigue, and some just have good old-fashioned fatigue. We are tired. Just 3 people in the last week have told me that you have had panic attacks, and you don't normally have panic attacks. This is real. Anxiety is a real issue. People have all kinds of cortisol and negative chemicals flowing through their bodies, and sometimes we don't know how to manage them. Those who are actively avoiding social media and avoiding most news other than little snippets tell me that you're feeling guilty because you're avoiding news and you don't really know what to do. And psychiatrists are telling me that business is very good. It is too good, in fact. Beyond political leaders, people are telling me that you are struggling to feel love. You're struggling to feel love for certain family members, for certain friends. Many long-standing relationships have a great chasm, and you are wondering whether you will ever be able to cross it again. I hear you. I hear you. I see you. I'm with you. I am one of you in that regard. And while I strive to take actions beyond the walls of this church, as so many of you do, we do that in Christ's name. Today, my primary hope is to invite you to think of love in a different way, to consider why we can say love never fails and mean it. Again, agape is not primarily a feeling. Huba is not something that we can purchase in a Hallmark card for Valentine's Day. These deep feelings, remember, are reminding us that we will be set afire, that we will be emblazoned with passion and sent forth into the world. God's deep love is not something that we start. It is not something that we can just will ourselves to have. You see, we participate, but God initiates. God is the igniter here. See, if we put all of the pressure on ourselves that we have to feel loving for this person that we cannot stand, I have no one in particular in mind. If we wonder why we can't feel love for this person, we are going to end up exhausted. We are absolutely going to end up exhausted, but we must remember that God is the igniter, that this is not a feeling that we can just have. If we continue to do that and continue to emotionally flog ourselves and think, I don't know why I can't feel love, then we will fail ourselves and we will end up too exhausted to actually do anything. I invite you today to remember that this agape, that this huba, that this love is initiated by the God of the universe. Now, I believe in free will. I believe in free will, and I will not accept evil as the status quo. And I take heart knowing that our Creator can move mountains and can change hearts. You can go back into the Hebrew Scriptures and read, sometimes, for whatever reason, God allowed leaders that perpetrated evil to lead for some period of time. But there are instances of the heart being changed. Part of our call, as hard as it may be, is to pray for transformation. To pray for transformation. To name it for those who scare us. To pray for Trump and Bannon and Spicer and all of these people that we see swirling around. To pray for them does not mean to accept everything they do. It does not mean that our way is the way. But to pray for transformation is what we are called to do. And as we take actions, and as we remember that we worship the God who created the universe, we remember our place in the universe. See, many researchers, including those at UC Berkeley, remind us that we are in something called the Goldilocks zone. Our little planet here is not too hot, not too cold. We have water. Yes, we have challenges, but we are in the Goldilocks zone. And through the Kepler research, they have found that there could be 40 billion other planets throughout the universe that are in this Goldilocks zone. But this is the one that we have. And as we consider our place in this Goldilocks zone, I ask you to consider the Goldilocks zone of faith. Now, church and faith cannot be too safe. We cannot be too safe, such as that we become complacent. We cannot become so fierce that we alienate everyone around us and get nothing done. But where is our Goldilocks zone of faith? How will God initiate this kuba, this deep love within us that we cannot control ourselves? If God can give us life on this planet, God can give us this love as action. But how is God shaping us to truly find this fire? Jennifer Miller, one of our elders, and sitting over in the choir, I believe, singing today, sent an inspiring message on the subject. Please know we have many budding faith thinkers and theologians in the congregation, and the pastors are always honored to receive your feedback. Jennifer said the following regarding love. I've always thought of love as something that doesn't just exist, but as something that develops over time, that grows and takes many shapes. And as I was reflecting on this word, evolve came to mind. The word evolve came to mind. Love evolves over time, I think. I wrote the word evolve on a piece of paper, and wouldn't you know, staring at me was the word love, hidden in the word evolve. It is backwards, but there it is. And maybe that's the point. Maybe love doesn't always start in a nice, proper progression, but starts messy, sometimes look backwards, but eventually transforms into something that looks and feels like a blessing, a gift, acceptance, respect, a warm connection. Jennifer, thank you. Thank you for that. Evolve, love. When Jesus walked on earth, he spoke truth to power. He was part of the process of love evolving, of love walking. He fed the masses, he trained leaders, and he faced the darkness of evil on a daily basis. But even Jesus, as God with us, had to take time to step away and to pray and to allow his heavenly parent to shape him, to help love evolve within the human part of him. Yes, we are tired, but it is okay sometimes to step away and to pray and to be formed by our Maker. I do not claim to have the perfect list of 3 easy steps to avoid fear that doomsday is upon us. But I could not stand here before you if I did not believe that God will see us through this time, as our Redeemer has so many other times in history. And one spiritual practice I do recommend is not letting the voices of this world be the first voices you hear each day. Now, if they're in your house, by all means, you'll hear those voices. But I encourage you, before you check messages, put your phone in airplane mode before you turn on the television or the radio or pick up the newspaper or whatever way you receive input from the outside world. Consider centering yourself, if only for 90 seconds or 5 minutes or however much time you have. Consider centering yourself in meditative prayer, or reading a verse of scripture, or listening to a piece of music that makes you feel feel closer to God. Allow God to shape your day before you allow the world to send you off on some tangent and rant from which you may not recover. As we prepare today to come and partake in communion, remember that some at the Lord's table, some at the Last Supper, thought that darkness would prevail. They were scared. And I pray that today that we will all receive today's feast as reassurance that light will shine through. You see, at this table, we remember that death does not get the last word. Is this on? At this table, we remember that death does not get the last word, or that darkness does not get the last word. A Sikh woman named Valerie Kaur gave one of the most compelling 6-minute testimonies you will ever hear. And she spoke alongside Reverend Dr. William Barber, who is the head of the North Carolina NAACP and who is a voice of justice in the world. And Valerie shared a line that continues to haunt and encourage and stick with me. She said, "Maybe this darkness we feel is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb. This is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb." At this table, from this church, from your home, with our lives, God can and will birth something new.